That's what Tony Kornheiser said 12 hours.
Texting 678-701. Fucking, I don't know. Who cares? Listen. That is a redoubtable one-time Izzo himself. I am the highly questionable and RJ Miliaccio. Welcome back. Segment 2, IDD for those of you in the know. I don't disagree for those of you who just don't know what you don't know yet. Anyway, segment 2, NFL recap / Monday night, Donnybrook, between the Raiders and the Chiefs, which it was at one time. Wasn't it 17-3? At one point?
It was 14-0.
14-0, and now the Chiefs have stormed back, and we got a Donnie out
remember
there.
We sat down, I go, you see the Raiders are giving it to the Chiefs?
They were. It was 14-0,
14-0.
now it's 2017. We got an old-fashioned AFC West bang shootout.
Calamity Sam?
Yeah, Calamity Sam. And Yosemite Sam. Anyway, so, hey, heck of a weekend in the NFL. Starting with the London broil, London special. What would you like with that cheese? How about a side of Rogers? Yeah. The Gmen have proven that they are not, in fact, a fluke. By coming back, they were down 17-3, by the way. They were. Coming back, storming back.
And it looked ugly.
Against
the
that.
text messages I was sending to him at 17-3 were not good.
He was giving up. And I was like, patience. Just patience. All he needed was one score. And when they got that one score, then it happened.
Well, I was getting upset because the offense was being so vanilla that it was just like, come on, let it happen. And then
in the second half,
they started having those drives.
Again.
Well, I think it started before the second half.
Actually, the last drive of the first half.
The last drive of the first half.
Kind of started, yeah.
You know, and then their defense gave up 3, but at least the defense didn't give up 7 before the half. You know. But they did have a decent drive before the half, but they only kicked the field goal, right?
I believe so. But
and coming out, that first drive of the second half, I think that's when they did the double reverse for the touchdown with the tight end. That was nice. And that was creativity. And they kept getting more creative afterwards, which was nice. Nice to see.
What they have done, at least from what he and I have seen, all year.
That's the first game I've watched from start to finish.
They're very vanilla in the first half, and then the second half they start to open it up. They get better in the second half. They've done that. That's been their track record really the whole season. So
I wonder if they can have success.
And I think what they do
doing
is
that quicker.
They approach it like a boxing match. They spend it trying to figure the person out, and then once they figure out their game plan, all right, now here's what we're going to do. That's what it seems like they do. And they've done it very well. Okay,
but I think they're going to have to be a little quicker in that reading phase.
Well, maybe, but you know what? They run the ball.
Give up a half a football.
But they run the ball. They keep the score down. They slow the game down. And they look, Danny Dimes is taking care of the football. There have not been many times this year so far where he's put his defense in a bad position. That's basically what he did all of last year.
You're right.
So to his credit,
he's had a couple bad ones.
And another thing that I found encouraging on the fact that they bitch slapped Aaron Rodgers was that they not only did they do what the Patriots should have done the week before because Bill Belichick took his foot off the gas. Dayball didn't. Okay. The second thing that these guys did was they may have found a number one receiver. This kid.
You talking about Darius Slayton?
This kid Slayton, at least for one game, looked like a number one receiver. He ran good routes, surefire hands, big target. He's fast too, and doesn't try to do too much. He gets the ball, he gets down, he moves the sticks. He doesn't get fast. But he's solid. He seems solid. And if that's something, then that's something that they didn't have before. Now you're trying to find another guy like that. But I mean, at least they may have found one.
Darius Slayton has been there. I don't know where he was earlier in the season.
Well, maybe he was hurt. Maybe I don't know what he was doing. Or maybe he had a bad training camp. He was low on the death chart. And then the guy got knocked out.
Their offense, they really need to be able to keep this creativity going because their offense has been pretty piss poor. But what I saw was when the Giants were being conservative and they would do, a couple of run plays and then they would throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage on third down for some sort of receiver screen or, even just like a pass out into the flat and then try to, block in front of it.
Sure.
Every time they did that, they had no success.
Yeah.
When they let Danny Jones take a, fairly deep drop and look at his receivers.
Tell you what,
they were getting big chunks of yardage.
They were getting open. he
was getting his ass beat.
But he stands. He's a tough kid.
I know.
Stands in the pocket.
He's like
he
Eli.
surveys the. And by the way, you want your quarterback to do this. By the way, this is a good sign.
He's very much
He's
like
going
Eli.
through his reads. He's not panicking, and by the way, he threw 4 or 5 darts. Okay, in that second half,
he looked.
I'm telling you,
he looked great.
He's not the problem.
But that's my only thing is like I wonder how important it is for them to really read that team out for a full half. Only because if they can do that quicker, they can do that in the first quarter and then kind of.
Well, to your point though, this is the other possibility, and I'm watching this up in New England, is that it's a new offense. So they treat the regular season like, at least the first month of it, like this. So they're trying to learn as they go. Yeah, they're still learning it. They don't know this is a new playbook for them. But what you want, look, and he'll agree with me on this because every coach that knows anything about sports said you want to be playing your best ball right at the end of the season. But there's a progression to get to that point. You don't want to peak too early. And in the case of where they're looking at a new playbook and a new offense, you want to gradually add things as the weeks go by, and maybe you'll get what you want, where by the second season, they are closing that gap or figuring it out quicker.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a learning process, and what they want to make sure they do is, one, remain competitive, stay in the game, and do something crazy that takes you out of the game, like some stupid gamble that you don't need for a turnover that puts you behind the 8 ball, and then that plan you had goes out the freaking window, and now you're playing catch-up. Yeah. So, and if that's the plan, that's a smart plan. Okay, but the one thing I've noticed, and I will say the second half, and what he's seen will agree with me, they've been better the second half in every game offensively. Yeah. So they are getting better. So
because I think in week 1 they were down 13-0 going into the second half against the Titans. Came back and won 22
second half points.
Yeah.
They have been a second half team the whole season. So to me,
I'd rather be a second half team than a first half team.
And again, they're trying to find pieces. Maybe this Slayton kid, and again, who was the number 1 receiver who got knocked out for the year?
You talking about Sterling Shepard?
Yeah, is that who it was? Yeah, he was the number 1.
I mean, if you want to call him the number 1.
Well, no, I'm saying, but on the depth chart, he was.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is, this kid was low on the depth chart. He got bounced up, and he's making the most of his opportunity. So maybe he had. I mean, look, I don't know what they're seeing every day in practice, but he was number 3 or number 4. Then he gets bumped into that rotation, and he has a very good game. And he did. I think he caught every ball that was thrown his way. If he got his hands on it, he caught it. So, I mean,
he looked good.
Yeah. So this, to me, bodes well for them because they got to get, now just find one more guy so you have one on each side and you have some balance. So, and maybe they will. But, hey, they're 4-1.
Do you know who they play next week?
I don't, but we'll look it up. But look at that division. Look, I said it last week. We were talking about the NFC is getting respect. I'll tell you right now, they're the best division in football, with one exception. Okay.
The Redskins?
No.
I mean, the Commanders?
Whatever they are. That's not the exception. They're better than every division in the entire league but one. There's one division that is better.
Right? The NFC West?
Nope.
The AFC West?
The AFC East.
AFC East?
Buffalo, Miami, and the Jets are all above 500, and the Patriots are one game below 500, and their losses are to playoff teams. And they were in every game. So that the worst division team in that division is the New England Patriots. You're not going to compare the New England Patriots to the Commanders. Not with a straight face, you're not. And Buffalo is the best team in football. I don't care what anybody says. They are the best team in football right now. So other than Philly.
You think Buffalo is?
Yeah, Buffalo went into LA and they didn't beat the Rams. They smacked them. They smacked them worse than Dallas smacked them yesterday. And Dallas smacked them. Dallas smacked it. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, they smacked it. Buffalo put like 38 points on them. Buffalo lit them up. It was like 38-10. It wasn't even close.
That's right. That was the Thursday game to open the season.
Yeah, there was a close first half, and then Buffalo just went and put it into 6 and bye. Okay, they just left them. And I'm telling you right, but
okay, so you think Buffalo's the best team
in football right now? Yeah, I do. It's them and Philly.
Yeah, it's got to be
them and
Philly
Philly.
too.
Now, I'll tell you what, Philly and Dallas. I'll tell you what, Dallas's D is elite. It's elite.
Does Dallas have the best defense in the league?
I think it's them and Tampa Bay and Buffalo. I think they're the top 3.
You think Tampa's still up there?
Yeah, because they've only given up 20 points in one game.
Okay.
And Dallas hasn't done it in any game, but they haven't played some of the teams that Tampa has played. And Tampa beat Dallas. In Dallas. In fact, they held Dallas.
That's right.
They held Dallas to a field goal. Okay, so Dallas was the one team that didn't score a touchdown that weekend because of Tampa. So the bottom line is, I
feel like Dallas is better since then, though. Right? Like I feel like they're a better team.
Well, they've beat.
They're clicking.
They're clicking. I don't know that they're better because the Niners have. I mean, the Buccaneers haven't been healthy yet.
They're playing better. I don't know. I'm not saying they're better than the Bucs.
Yeah.
I'm saying the Cowboys have improved since they played the Bucs that first week.
They have.
You know, I'm not saying they're better than the Bucks, but
No, they have improved though. You're right. They've got. Well, you know what they've done?
defense
They've
is
switched their game.
locking
They've
down.
switched their offense
yeah.
because they've had to. They are now a run-first offense that
Tony
throws.
Pollard is killing them.
And they're using that offensive line for what it was. They're a good run blocking team, and they're throwing out a play action. And by the way, they just got Gallup back, who was their number. He'd been out all season, number 2 receiver, so he's back, and he caught a touchdown. So
Is that his second game back?
first or second, but he's back. And the point is now you've got him and you've got CeeDee Lamb on the other side. You've got a legit 1-2 now.
CD's good.
And now you have Schultz. Schultz is still, this tight end is really good, and they haven't used him yet. I'm waiting for that one.
Who's got him in fantasy?
I do. He's on my bench.
He hasn't done anything yet, right?
No, I'm not.
I'm
waiting.
surprised.
Well, I think Dak will throw him the ball. But
Why wouldn't a new quarterback? It seems almost easier for like a new
I
quarterback.
think
a lot of
I
times.
think a lot
Where's
of
the tight
times
end?
because I think a lot of times when you throw to a tight end, it's out of play action. But their running game has been chewing up so much yardage, he hasn't had to go to play action. If he's throwing downfield, it's third and long, and he has no choice. And then they're in a shotgun. So he may or may not even be on the field, but he's not their number one target. Now it's CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, and then him. Or Pollard if he's out of the backfield, because Pollard's a good receiving back, too. So the bottom line is he's going to have his time at some point. It's a question of when. But Dallas is doing really well, and he's not really a factor yet. So, we'll talk about that game later on.
So you think top 3 then?
Defense is Buffalo.
Not defense, team.
Oh, Buffalo, Philly, and
Dallas, you said?
I didn't say Dallas. Kansas City. At least, they're losing tonight, but I said Kansas City after what they did down in Tampa Bay. And then Dallas. Or, the Ravens. Well, the Ravens beat.
Ravens beat Cincy last
The Ravens
night.
beat Cincy last night. I mean,
Cincinnati.
Yeah. Chargers are 3-2. They're starting to wake up.
I think the Chargers are really.
No, that coach.
I think you're right about them.
That coach did it again though yesterday. He went for it on 4. Did you see what happened?
I can't remember.
Dude.
No, I think I walked away from the TV. What happened?
It's 4th and 2.
Chargers are playing.
They're playing Cleveland, and they're only up 2 points. So if you don't get this 4th and 2, they're basically already in field goal range. They're on your side of the 50, okay? And they got a kid with a leg too. And so this idiot Staley plays the analytics.
Goes for it.
And doesn't get it. And Cleveland.
But Cleveland missed the
Cleveland
kick.
gets into field goal range, and the guy shanks it wide to the right. But he barely missed it by about a foot. So the guy dodged a major league bullet. They were saying they wouldn't let him on the plane if they had lost that game. And Keenan Allen.
How much time was it to where they could have punted it?
It was like under 2 minutes.
So you think they should have punted it,
Yeah.
tried to pin him into 10,
Yes.
and say you got to go 50 yards? to kick
They
the field
gave him the ball on their 42-yard line, and the clock is a factor. Like, why wouldn't you punt it? Like, you don't get
but if
that.
you get that 2
the game
yards,
is
the
over.
game's over.
Yeah, but if you don't,
You're fucked.
the game is over.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't because the guy
lucky.
choked. But he wasn't planning on that.
Right.
He's going to shank a 20-yard
Yeah,
line.
okay.
Don't worry about it. The analytics say.
Even if we don't get this 4th down, he's missing that kick. Let's go.
The analytics don't lie. They're lying. Pull up some. So he then in the post game he defended that stupid call, and I'm like, he's like, we already decided we're going to live with the results. I'm like, the results cost you a playoff spot last year. You already know what the results are, you dipshit.
Yeah. Like,
I can't. Now Keenan McCardle, who was out injured, their star receiver, is tweeting as this is going on. WTF? What are we doing?
Keenan Allen, you mean?
Keenan Allen, yeah, his
He was
number
tweeting
one.
what?
He was tweeting what the fuck?
Really?
Yeah, like what are we doing? Like, why are we punting the ball? This is his own freaking player. And I'm telling you, he wasn't the only one.
That's funny.
I'm like, holy crap! Everybody on and look at he's been crucified all day, and he should have been, because he's going to cost them the playoffs again, and he should be fired if he does it twice. Should have been fired for last year.
Is Herbert healthy yet?
Yeah, he's playing well.
His rib cartilage is okay.
Well, he appears healthier. Whatever that means.
He's
yeah.
probably still.
He's probably still feeling the
sore.
effects. They're probably shooting cortisone, probably doing shit like that to numb it
not good.
and wait for the bye week where they can really heal. That's probably what they're trying to do. Because the damn thing is they can't really look if they have no faith in their backup and they know how competitive the conference is, you can't afford to drop 3 games.
But didn't they lose Bosa on defense too? I feel like they've had some injuries.
He's out for the season, I think.
Is he season? I thought he might be.
No,
like
no,
6
he's not
games
season.
or
He's 6
something.
games. Yeah, he's not season.
But yeah, I know
still-
their defense is taking a hit.
Yeah, but the point is, like, this coach is not making it easy on him.
Sounds like it.
It's like you gotta play smart here. And the smart thing to do is make that team, who by the way has their second or third string quarterback, whatever Brissett is, make him go 80 yards with a minute and a half to go and 1 timeout. rather than here at the 42.
Yeah, because I mean, I
why
feel
would
like
you do that?
Cleveland's a run-first team, so
That's
if you
the
can
other
load
thing.
the box and just kind of.
They've got to throw. Nick Chubb is their best weapon. You
Yeah.
can't. Look at. They won the game, and that's why I feel bad because he's going to think he can get away with it again. That's the worst thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
Okay, because he clearly didn't learn from last year. Okay, I mean, we're going to live with the results. Okay, live with the results.
So they're 3-2, and they kind of got away with one right there.
Guys
Easily could have been 2 and 3.
Should have been 2 and 3. Cleveland should have made that kick.
How far was the kick?
It was like a 41-yarder. It wasn't.
Got kicker in Arizona missed one to tie.
Yeah, I saw him too. Yes, yeah. They mismanaged the clock.
Oh, that's
Kyler
right.
Murray is
Kyler
trying to
Murray
slide.
slid.
First of all, how do you not know where the marker is? How do you not?
I know.
How do you? I mean, this talk about.
I think a lot of quarterbacks don't know that when you slide, the ball is dead right when you start your slide.
And if you're trying to get the first down, you're not sliding. You
gotta
are
dive.
diving forward. And
Eli Manning used to struggle with that.
Yeah.
Because every time he dove, he fumbled.
Yeah.
So sometimes he would slide, and it was like, dude, you've got to get past the marker, then slide.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You can't slide
and
across
thing
the
is,
marker.
They were making fun of him today on ESPN because they're like,
So they're making
well,
fun
I
of
don't know how to
Myers
count to
Marion.
10, but I do know this. If you look to the right and to the left, you see a large red post. And at the top is a number. And it says 3.
Who was saying that?
This is Brian Clark. It says
He was.
3, which means you have to get to 1 to be able to kneel the ball down. Because you can't kneel or dunk because now you have to get at that point. So they mismanaged the clock because he didn't slide for the first down. Or dive. He should have dived.
What
for
did they
it.
have, like 30 seconds left at that point?
Yeah, I mean, it's just dumb.
And then he clocked the ball.
No, he had to clock the ball because
wasted third down.
Waste the third down.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't.
Yeah, that stinks.
Just stupid.
If he
And it
goes
costs
one
him.
more yard and then slides, then he can clock the ball. They probably get 2 more shots to
They
get
get 2
closer.
more shots to get even closer.
And it's an easy field
Yeah,
goal.
or a touchdown to win it because they're in the red zone at that point. Like, I don't understand. Look at. And I've said this, and he's heard me say it. More games are lost in the NFL than won. And we see it every Sunday. And we're always
But
sitting
that
there
was
like
the
going,
tie.
what
That
the
was
fuck?
the tie.
But the
The
point is,
Cleveland
like,
one, that was...
dude, that's talking about
But
dodging
did
a
they
bullet.
mismanage? Did Cleveland mismanage anything?
The guy just missed a
He
field
just
goal. He
missed
should have
field
made. I don't think it was a 40. I think it was like a 35. I think it was a 40-yard. And he
So
just
you would consider that a game lost?
yes, because that's a chip
he's
shot.
gotta make
If it's
that.
a 50, look, my ceiling on this is 50 yards. If it's in,
Anything over?
If it's within 50 yards, barring like a rainstorm, if it's within 50 yards,
It's a rainstorm.
If it's a rainstorm or a windstorm or the
20
snow
yards.
is fine.
20
That's
yards.
no, that's more like 30. I'll give you 30.
30?
30. Yeah, because 25 yards is an extra point now.
I know, but I'm saying
30.
if you make something in a snowstorm 25 yards, I give you credit.
Well, Benetieri did it twice, and it was longer than 35.
Right,
Yeah.
that's
So
insane.
it was 48 and 41.
In the snow? Dear God.
I was at the
Is that
game.
against the Raiders?
That was against the Raiders. That was just, the Raiders, I'm like, Benetieri had to make 2 of the greatest kicks in NFL history to beat that team. So shut the hell up. Because the game didn't end on the fucking fumble. The Raiders quit. So that's reality. That's why they quit. So they did. Because I was there, and I was watching Jerry Rice rubbing outside, and they're just like,
Yep, 24-20, Chiefs up. End of third.
who got the last touchdown?
Travis Kelce into the end
No,
zone
that was the
for
first
his third TD.
He's got all 3. Oh, my
Damn!
God. That means Pete's winning in fantasy, I think.
No.
He
No,
had
he
Kelce.
was down by more than that.
Well, goal. It was at the top of your screen. You could have seen it.
I got it.
Anyway, so which brings us to Foxborough. So, I mean, unless you want to talk about Pittsburgh getting bum blasted 38-3, I don't
No,
know.
we'll go to-
Brian, you want to talk about that, Brian? Can you sit down yet, Brian? The Steelers can't sit down. I can tell you that right now. So yeah, Josh Allen having his way with the team. Moving on. Okay. Hey, Jets 3-2. How about that one? Okay. Miami was missing their starting quarterback, but he don't play defense.
Dude,
And 40 to.
Travis Kelce has 26 points.
He's that close?
Pete's still losing by 30 to Kyler.
That's beautiful. Anyway,
He didn't put Jonathan Taylor on the bench.
Made my night.
And I was talking to him yesterday.
Made my night.
I was like, Pete, I saw you didn't put Jonathan Taylor on the bench. And he goes, it was an accident. He goes, but I mean, I'm playing Kyler. Who gives a shit?
Kyler, you hearing that, Kyler?
Kyler just got
Morgan,
him.
wake up, Kyler.
I'm sorry, Pete. I didn't mean to put you on blast. Actually, can I just say something?
Yes, you did. And you should have, because if he said that, he should be, yes,
No,
you're going to
I
guess.
did mean to put you on blast, Pete. But I would just like to say I had a blast with your family this weekend.
Oh, thank you. They love you.
Watching, well, first of all, at the the party, that was fun.
Yeah.
But then watching the games on Sunday, I'm sitting on the couch. He's on my left.
Oh,
Becky's on my right.
my mother.
Mrs. Mig
Yeah.
is on her right,
Right,
and then
and
Pete's on the
Pete-
end.
yeah.
Cabo's sitting on all of us at some point.
Hair everywhere. Hair going everywhere.
But it was hilarious.
It was a fun time.
Watching when every time he starts bitching about Belichick, his mom goes, "Would you shut up about Belichick already? My God,
Let it go.
let it go."
Why can't you let it go?
Oh my God, it's.
Oh, my, because you see that guy up there wearing number 12 that's winning another game? That's why I can't let it go.
And then every chance Pete gets, he's dropping some nugget to piss RJ off and looking at me going, "Oh man, that was hilarious."
Yeah, it was good to see you this weekend, Pete. Miss you, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we had a great time watching all these games. Saw all these games come down the wire, and then we saw some very, the Dolphins. Hey, look, I know Tua wasn't playing, but Tua don't play defense. 40 points is 40 points. The Jets
But
have
their third string quarterback.
he couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
But they still put up 40 points on that defense. That defense isn't missing anybody as far as I know. That's like not 40. I mean, I'm not surprised the Dolphins lost. I thought it'd be closer, which tells me something about the Jets. They're explosive. We were saying the cupboard's not bare. The cupboard is not bare.
So next week, I would like to watch a Jets game
We can do that.
because I think they must have a decent offense with Zach Wilson. Right?
I'm saying Wilson is playing like the number 2 pick in the draft.
Maybe.
And he's starting to look
That's
the part.
exciting for the Jets if that's true.
This is the first time they've mattered since Rex Ryan, for crying out loud. So, I mean, yeah, this is great if they keep it up. I hate it. I'm a Pats fan. But, I mean, look, we were saying off air, what's the best division of football right now? And I thought it was the NFC East except for one division. And it's not the AFC West, it's the AFC East. Because the Jets are very much improved. The Dolphins are 3-2 without Tua. Okay, the Bills are what they thought they were.
That's
And the
not
Patriots,
without Tua.
they've lost 2 in a row without him. They were 3-0 with him.
But that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
if he doesn't come back, they're not good.
But they're still 3-2 right now.
Right.
And
But if he comes back, they're good.
they'll be good, yeah.
If he doesn't, I kind of feel bad for them.
I feel terrible because they were 3-0.
They were good.
They had beaten the Ravens and the Buffalo Bills in back-to-back weeks.
With him, they were good.
Yeah, they were legit. They were legit. So you look at that division, and the Patriots, who just pitched, I think there's the first shot of the NFL season, blanked the number 1 offense in the league, which is the one thing that people were saying today. Nobody could stop the Detroit Lions on offense until the Patriots showed up.
That's ridiculous. That's a bad take.
It's true, though. They were the number 1 score.
I
For
know.
4 weeks, nobody could hold them below 30 points.
All right.
Nobody. So you have to.
I'm not trying to discount their performance.
No, you want to bash their defense, because if they had any kind of defense, they'd probably be undefeated. They can't stop anybody either. The Patriots didn't. 29 points isn't a lot of points, and 7 of those came on a strip sack touchdown by the Patriots defense. The offense really only put up 22 points. Now they have a third stringer in there, this Zippy, whatever.
I'm saying,
but he's playing
3
well.
scores with your third string quarterback. I think.
The
Right, he's
Lions
their third string.
The Lions give up on
Is
average.
Zappy their third?
Their third, because Hoyer was their number 2.
Dude, you got to give them some credit.
I am, but I'm just saying that they did it to the worst defense in the league.
True.
So it's both ways. You credit the Pats defense for shutting down that high octane offense. You're kind of looking at it. They were number 1 in the league in points scored. That's called high octane. 37 points a game, high octane.
All right.
Last team to do that was the 07 Patriots, by the way. Hello. Okay, so anyway.
That's crazy.
That is crazy, but that's what they've been doing. And the Patriots shut them down.
I don't know why I don't want to give them credit. I need to give the Lions credit. You're right.
You should, because you saw, and I got news for you, the Lions they're not going to roll over and die.
They scored a ton of points on Philly.
They did.
Which makes me think, all right, maybe they do have a good offense.
They were in the game with Philly.
But they weren't really. They were down by multiple scores.
So they came back.
And they came back.
All the way back.
But I feel like if you get down by 27 every game, and
they weren't down 27 to the Redskins.
I know. No.
They never trailed.
That was the one game they.
I mean, the whatever you are, the Commanders.
The Commandos.
The Commandos. What are
the
they?
Washington.
Commandos would have. People's right about that. Commandos would have been cooler.
What do you think about the Commanders?
I hate it.
No.
What?
I'm talking about how they've been playing.
Ron
Rivera.
Ron Rivera
said on the hot seat.
Ron Rivera said, they said, what's the difference between you? Because the other 3 teams in that division, Giants 4-1, Dallas 4-1, Philly 5-0. Then you have the Commanders at 1-4. And
somebody asked him what?
They asked the coach, what's the difference between these other teams are standing here and you guys, and he looked right in the camera, one word, he goes, quarterback.
Really? He said that?
And he kept walking.
No.
I have the quote. I can show it to you.
Wow.
Quarterback.
When he said that today?
Today. Quarterback. He was coming out of the – because they always have to
So
give
is
like
it safe to say he didn't want Carson Wentz?
I think it's what he's saying is he's pissed at him and he's on a short leash. And I kept telling DJ and Morgan the quarterback was not their problem. The kid, the little midget there who went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady was the guy. Build around him. He's tough as nails. He's fearless. Oh, he's not consistent. He's not consistent because the things around him aren't consistent. Like Danny
Who was that guy's
Dimes.
name again?
I don't even remember his damn name, but the bottom line is he was not the problem. Now you go out and get this guy who's been a problem everywhere he's been, okay, in terms of choking, and he's going to, that's his track record. He's a choke artist. That's what it is. Poop.
But he's
He
similar,
pooped himself.
he's
He
similar
pooped
to Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers has a ring.
No. I just mean in that there are times when you see the things he does, he's got massive amounts of talent.
I know he does.
But then if you watch him over the course of an entire game, sometimes you go,
He's the classic
was that?
example of talent is not everything. He's proof it's not. Guys like him, and there's a lot of guys like him. The problem is he plays quarterback. So he's under a microscope.
I'm surprised Ron Rivera said that.
They're going in for the game-winning drive on Tennessee, and he throws a pick on the goal line
Ugh.
into double coverage. If you saw that play from the end zone or we're behind it, you're like, what is he looking at? There's a guy on each side of the receiver he's throwing to. He sees it before he releases the ball, but his ego's like, oh, I can get it in there. Like, what, are you kidding me? There's no way he was getting it in there. And it's just like...
Good play by the DB, too, though.
Yeah, but he did. He was right there. It was a bad read. Never should have thrown the ball.
I kind of
in.
feel bad because right before that play, I was like, I hope he throws a pick.
You did say it too. Actually, he called it. You did call
No,
it.
I actually, I wished for it.
But yeah, and it
But
happened.
I think I was like in a bad mood, like I was losing in fantasy or something, and I just didn't want the
You
Commanders.
should have been on an all-time high because the Mets hadn't blown it yet, and the Gmen had just come back and beat the Packers.
Yeah, no,
you
you're right.
should have been on an all-time high.
It's true.
Because at least going into that, because the Mets responded the night before. So you should have been an optimistic Eddie.
I was feeling dark on the inside about the Mets all weekend.
Dark and sinister? Or
No,
just
like doomsday was coming. I could feel it. So, yes, I was on a high. The Giants put me on a high. When you wake up at 9:30 a.m.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
And you get to watch your team.
I was jealous of you.
Win in London.
I got to admit, I was jealous of you. Because
Like-
I was like, because that you're waiting for, you're like,
Right, like that doesn't
you're like,
happen.
he's already off the hook. You can enjoy the day now.
Right,
It's
and,
2-1.
and it's like they win, and it's like, okay, now I got a good feeling going. The Mets won
Yeah.
last night. Giants won this
There was
morning.
some mojo going on.
Let's
some
go.
mojo.
Didn't
Which
it-
should have been an exciting day, turned into a disaster.
That could have been one of the greatest days
really
in
could
New
have been.
York sports history.
In a long time, anyway. In a long time.
Jets freaking
Jets and Giants
blow out the Dolphins.
Jets, and
the Giants beat Green Bay in London.
the first time in 7 years that both those teams were over 500 at this point in the season.
Boom. And then the Mets
And
move
the Mets
on to
move
the
on.
NLDS.
Oh my God! It would have been a great day in New York.
Wow.
And it was on the way. It was 2/3 of the way there, and then that happened.
That makes it worse.
Makes it worse. Anyway,
Makes it
Makes it
even
worse.
worse.
So, yeah.
You
So-
make,
the Patriots. I got to be fair here. Look,
Sorry,
I
my
got to be
bad.
fair. No, it's all right. I got to be fair. I'm not. I got to be fair. Look. Now, I'm going to say it's not maybe quite 6 or 7. I'll say maybe 5, 6 quarters now. Matt Patricia, the last 5, 6 quarters, has called good football. Or if it's, I don't know if it's him.
Whoa.
I don't know if it's him. But because there were times when he was on the defense, and I knew Bill Belichick was calling the defense before. It wasn't him. He didn't suddenly grow a brain in 2 weeks. It was like.
I wonder why Patty Matt doesn't
but-
sit up high
but-
in the box like a lot of the coordinators nowadays.
He's right down there with the players.
He wants to be there.
Yeah, that'd be there. Which actually, I don't mind that because he's down there talking.
no,
to
and I
him.
was kidding.
But he's called, knock on wood, for what it's worth, he's called 5.5, 6 good quarters of football in the last 6. And he really has. And if he can keep this up, they have a puncher's chance. Now, they did win that game convincingly because tell you what, the defense, 5 sacks for that 4 turn, whatever. They made Goff look pretty good all season until Sunday. Sunday, he looked like he forgot how to play football, okay? And Matt Judon is a Pro Bowler. He was a Pro Bowler last year. He's a beast, one of the best defensive players nobody's talking about, but he's had a sack in every single game this year. He's got at least 1 sack.
Dude, that strip sack he had was nasty.
Nasty. He is the real deal.
That was the end of the game,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it was. Well, that was when I went to that. It was 6-0. That made it 13-0.
That was
That play. That was kind of the backbreaker right there. And look, they to their credit, they have put this Zippy Zappy Zoopy kid in good position to set him up for success. They're running the ball. Ramondre Stevenson, that dude is a bull in a china shop. The Patriots have a new bull, and they better ride him because that kid, 161 yards. And we were like, and they were man yards. They were between the tackles, smash mouth yards.
He didn't get a touchdown, did he?
No.
That's a shame.
It's a shame because he deserved one.
They should have given him the ball for a score.
Yeah, they should have, right? But the thing is, though, he was getting man yards. He was between the tackles, bouncing off people, always falling forward, and I think he was averaging.
That's right. That was the one we were laughing at when
he broke 4
How'd he fall? And then we were like, my God, he got hit 6
he
times.
broke 4 or 5 tackles. And as they saw the replay, we're like, how do we feel like assholes?
Right. Because he
looked like he
he's
tripped.
stumbling and
Yeah,
bumbling.
like why can't he keep
What
his
did he
balance?
trip?
But we're not
What'd you
watching.
say? You're like, he tripped over the 30-yard
Yeah,
line.
like-
Then we replay it.
He's
It's
like,
like,
bam,
bam.
boom, boom. People ripping his leg out of the air and grabbing him by hair and trying to punch him in the gut.
It's like, okay, now I see why he
Yeah,
stumbled.
now I know why he's stumbling.
Still got 20 yards.
Yeah, he took it 20 yards, trying to fall over, keel over. And so, look, they got that. Hey, Jacoby Myers is back. That's, by the way, I can't remember the last time this happened. 3rd week in a row, the Patriots had a different 100-yard receiver. 3 weeks in a row, three different guys.
Wow.
So they have talent in the receiving core. Oh, and the Baylor Bullet came back. The Baylor Bullet came back. Daquan, he had 3 catches, came off the bench,
The
looked
kid
pretty
with
solid.
the crazy 40-yard
40-yard
dash.
time. He was like 6'2", yeah. So he's back, the Baylor Bullet.
Dude,
so,
I mean, Donnybrook, to say the least.
What happened?
It's 24-23 with 9 minutes left.
yeah, Donnie.
KC.
Johnny.
Sorry,
KC.
didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's all right. We're talking about that. So anyway, look, the Patriots have weapons on the outside. They did actually target Hunter Henry a couple times, did a couple of nice catches. Still haven't targeted him in the red zone yet. Don't know what you're waiting on that one for. How about Sunday against Cleveland? Because if you win that game, you're at 500. And that's a conference game, which you got to win because you've already given away 2 of those. So in any event, they look good. Kudos to the coaching staff for their performance all around. No, shutout is a shutout. It's hard to shut somebody out in the NFL. It is hard to pitch a shutout. I don't know.
Are you giving a shout out to Double B?
I said the coaching staff.
You don't want to personalize this.
No,
shout
'cause
out?
at the end of the day, it's still Detroit. At the end of the day, it's still a franchise that
Okay,
has won
but
one
hey,
playoff game in the last 52 years.
All right. Okay.
So no,
So y'all
they
are
won-
2-3.
They're 2-3. If
If they get to 4-3.
I said they could go on a winning streak of 6 games if they beat Detroit.
Okay.
I said this
okay.
last week.
Okay. I don't remember you saying that, but I'll take your word for
But
it.
then you need to go back and watch the episode because I say it to you. If they can win this
Okay.
Sunday, they could go on a 5-6 game win streak. They could walk into Minnesota.
Okay,
either
but
6-3
I
or
will ask you
7-3.
this:
What?
if they can get to 4-3, so not even win the 6 in a row, if they can get back above 500, would you then personalize your shout out to Mr. Belichick
No.
himself? Why not?
Because he has but one goal:
Super
Bowl. Until he wins the Super Bowl without Brady, he will get no shot.
Okay,
out from me.
looking at this team, because this is the 3rd year. Okay.
They won it in 2 with Brady.
Okay, I know.
Year
This
2.
is the 3rd year. You've given him to
An
the
extra
3rd
year.
year.
Give him an extra year.
As you see this team starting to build, if they can win this 6 games and get McCorkle back, can they
They
get
have,
to the AFC Championship game?
if they use it properly, they have as many weapons on their offense as anybody in the entire NFL.
See, I hear you say that, and
They've had 3 different 100-yard receivers in the last 3 weeks. No other team in
that's-
football has done that.
who were they?
They were, it was Jacoby Myers yesterday.
Jacoby Myers.
It was Devontae, the kid from Miami. Devontae, what's his name? Devontae something. Parker or something. Yeah, Devontae Parker.
Devontae Parker.
And the week before that, it was, what's his name? Nelson
Aguilar.
Aguilar. Okay? So they've had 3 different guys in 3 different weeks. There hasn't been a team in this
With-
league
with
that
3
has
different quarterbacks,
with
right?
2 different quarterbacks. 2. Because it was Mac on the first one. Actually,
And
it was
then
Mac on the first 2, actually.
It was 3.
Because Mac got hurt in the other game.
Matt got hurt 3 games ago, right?
No, Mac missed just this. This is the first game he
Alas.
missed. He got
There's
hurt.
3
in the-
quarterbacks, though, right?
Well, Hoyer got knocked out in the first quarter of the game against
But
the
that
Packers.
makes it even better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so it's
3
been
3 different quarterbacks.
yeah. But think about that. There hasn't been a team in this league that has had that happen yet. So don't tell me they have weapons on the outside when
you're
they
right.
can. They do, and they haven't even used the tight ends yet. It's like how do you? They have again. This is all about how do you deploy them. You have to figure out how to get. And look, that's a nice problem to have. Like I would rather have this problem than one he's got, where he's like Slayton, finally somebody, anybody.
Okay, but
Yeah,
also to
but-
go back to a point you made about the Giants.
Yeah.
This is a new coaching staff.
Yes.
Now they're on their 3rd quarterback. So maybe like you said about the Giants, they're going to build into
They are.
like a really
You
strong
can,
team
you can
by
see
week
it happening.
7.
But I'm talking about they're going to look very different 4 weeks from now than they did yesterday because they're going to evolve. And I think he's taken the right approach to that. But at the same time, he knows when to go for it.
Yeah.
He has that. He understands analytics, but he also understands feel, and he
And I
can
thought you said
differentiate
last
between
week
the two.
he didn't.
Who, the Giants guy? No, Patriots.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Patriots.
I'm talking about the Gmen.
Oh.
I'm talking about your guy.
No, but I was comparing that and saying maybe the Patriots are in a similar situation because Matt Patricia, this is his first year.
That's totally possible. But
So
here's
like
the thing.
they're building too.
But they are. But the point is, there are some things you don't that are no-brainers, like a 2 tight end set when you actually have 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
Not a lot of teams in the league have 2 legit tight ends. The Patriots happen to be one of them.
Right.
And they have 2 legit running backs. They have 2 guys that have rushed for 100 yards. That's the only thing. They have 2 different 100-yard rushers this year.
So you can really put pressure on people to make it look like, hey,
Yeah.
we could run or
throw.
pass out
You
of
can do,
this.
and out of a 2 tight end set,
I can pretend like I'm blocking and then
you
turn
can get
around,
these.
boom.
You force your opponent to play a run defense, which will be more big people and less quick people, and you have 2 tight ends out there that are taller and just as fast and can win those one-on-one matchups. That's the beauty of that.
Linebackers really struggle to cover like
Yes, they
legit
do.
receiving
Legit.
tight ends.
Yes, they do. Every good tight end is a nightmare because they're too big for the safety, too quick for the linebacker. Or the cornerback. It's a problem.
Yeah, safety comes up and it's like, just throw it up.
Yeah, just throw it up. And if it's a linebacker, he can outrun the freaking linebacker. So you're like, what do you do?
Yeah, just wait for me to make a
the
cut.
The Patriots have 2 guys like that. And when they had Gronkowski and shit for brains, and Nutjob who killed himself.
Shit for brains.
Fucking no. I mean, listen, he did a lot of bad stuff. What?
Oh my God, that was hysterical.
What? He isn't. He was. He isn't. He was. I feel bad for his kid.
They had Gronk and shit for brains.
What?
Oh, that was hilarious.
What? That's what he was.
No,
Supremely
it's
talented,
great
mush for his.
description.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that it's just funny. Like you don't hear like somebody call like a straight up murderer. Like, look at this shit for brains.
He threw away a freaking Hall of Fame career.
Typically, it's like
threw away
you
his life.
psycho killer.
He had a beautiful
Gronk and
daughter.
shit for
He had a
brains.
beautiful kid. He had his whole life in front of him, millions of dollars. Famous playing with Tom Brady. He pissed it all away. Yeah, he's a shit for brains.
Was he just like trying to be a thug? Like what was going on?
Look, this was going on in Florida with him.
He shot somebody in the face, right?
It got swept under the rug. We go on and on and on about the sketchy things that happens in the Southeastern Football Conference. Okay, without having any evidence, you guys just know that somebody down there is not doing something right. Okay, and it's probably more than one. Okay, the bottom line is I don't have time to go digging into all that crap. But am I surprised that happened? No, there's been other things that have happened out of that conference. So I mean,
That's kind of come on. That's a little.
I'm not saying it's everyone. Most of the kids are student athletes and they're great. But there's also enough problems, and there's enough problem childs
I know,
too.
but you don't think he got like a cold-blooded killer? I mean, I guess
The
you
warning
just never know.
signs were there. People saw it. Tim Tebow was there when he was there.
So you think Urban Meyer knew? You think Bill Belichick knew?
I don't know.
Did
I
everybody
think
know?
they had suspicions, but because the kid was
just
so
turned
talented,
their-
they turned the other
right.
cheek and didn't bother looking.
It's like, oh, he gets into trouble. Yeah, he's a good kid.
Yeah, there were warning signs. He'd sit him in his office, whoever it was, talk to him. Yes, coach. Yes, coach. Yes, coach. And then there's all no. But then it would happen again 6 months later.
How would you feel if you found out one of your teammates was a murderer?
I feel awful for the victims.
Right,
And I'd be
but-
like, how did I not see it?
Yeah.
Like, were there warning signs? Did I miss something? That's probably the first thing you do.
But like, what's a warning sign? Just an
I don't know.
angry
I haven't.
person
I don't.
or
I have not been around too many
creepy
serial
person?
killers, thankfully.
Well, we don't know.
No one.
You never know.
No one I would consider a friend. Have I turned around and discovered one day on Facebook or whatever that they're in jail for murder
yeah.
or something like that?
Yeah.
So, or they, abuse or anything like that, beating their kid or beating their wife, whatever, nothing like that. So, I mean, it'd be a shock to me. But I would
I've
obviously
known
the first thing
someone-
first thing you'd want to know is who did he, she, or they hurt.
Yeah.
And then you start probably self-evaluating. Did I not see something? Were there signs that I ignored and just paid it no mind because that's who the guy was or whatever?
Was it my fault? Could I have stopped this?
Well, if someone dies, you're going to think that.
You think so?
If an innocent person dies at the hand of someone you knew, and they were always like that, and you didn't see the
That's
warning
true.
signs, you are going to think, you fucking ain't right, you're going to think that way. What if it's a kid? You're a father of 3. You tell me that's not going to hit you in the gut? You're damn right it is. Just like it would hit me or anybody else.
You think
I
like
would
Bill
think.
Belichick is like still all messed up because
What?
Aaron Hernandez killed people and he could have stopped it?
I think he feels bad. I think he's probably wondered if there was something he should have seen or again, and who knows what they told him because when they scout a player.
What if he did know?
If he knew and he ignored this, then shame on him. then he's worse than I ever gave him credit for. If that's true, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Okay,
it's tough to say. Like,
all I know is because
you might know something's off, but you don't know for sure.
When they had to release him, I mean, he looked like it affected him. He being Belichick. So, and he doesn't let anything affect him.
What do you mean when they had to release him?
Well, when he got arrested, they had to cut ties with him before it all came out what he actually did.
How long was it that he, like after that he killed himself? Not that long,
He was in
right?
prison for, I think it was 2 years after.
Oh, he was in prison for 2 years?
2 years. He was writing to his little girl, the poor kid. And have you ever seen a picture of this kid? Cute little girl. It was terrible. And her world's freaking upside down. And
he just must have went down a dark path and couldn't get out.
And that's what I don't understand, because he had so many good things going for him. He was a world-class athlete. He's playing for the best organization in professional sports. He's got this gorgeous little kid. He's rich. He's young. He's got his whole life ahead of him.
He started on that path before he got
no, he
that.
did. And he did before he got to Florida. He was like this. This goes back to high school.
That
and
sucks,
shit.
dude.
And it's terrible. It's a waste of talent. And he killed a man. A family is destroyed. A family is destroyed.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I think he killed more than one person.
Well, this is the thing. They're starting to find out more things now. Because he covered his tracks really well. Or, again, people turned the other cheek when they even heard a whiff of it because they didn't want to dig into it, which is probably what happened. If we're being honest, that's probably what did happen. They probably heard something about it, and then someone would say something, he'd sit the kid down, all right, and it would go away.
What's going on with this?
Yeah, and it would go away.
I mean, the way they say, like, the NFL can, like, investigate somebody's background, it makes you wonder, like, all right, how could the NFL not...
The NFL
know that.
is...
But who knows?
Look, it's a very simple answer. Anything to get asses in the seats.
That's true.
Or faces in front of the tube.
He was a
talent
really good
sells.
tight end.
He was a very good tight end. Could have been a Hall of Famer.
He was fast as
Him and
shit.
Gronkowski could have been the greatest tight end duo the game's ever seen. I mean, those two they would talk about, oh my God, you could do anything with them. It was crazy with those 3 years together. 4 years, they were, oh my God. It's like, if he had not taken that turn and got to play out his career, I wonder how many Super Bowls that team would have won with the two of them.
Has there ever been a duo like that?
I've never seen one like that.
Never.
Never. And you can deploy them in so many.
I can't
it was
think of
crazy.
one other duo like
I can't
that.
think of a duo like that. No, I'm close. So, in terms of talent, I mean, you know,
raw ass
just
talent
raw physical
and size.
I can line up in front of anybody and I'm better.
Yeah,
That's who those two were. And so, I mean,
you don't see that a lot.
You'll never. I don't know if you ever see it again. But the thing is, you think about that stuff. So, I mean, I'm sure Belichick, and I'm not. He's a human, But I mean, so I'm sure that's something that sticks with him because he coached the guy. And now someone's dead, and now he's dead, and now you don't forget shit like that. You don't just blow
but I mean, like, I guess to a certain extent, it's like, look, just because you coach somebody doesn't mean that you're in charge of their life.
No, you're not. These are adults.
Right.
This is not high school. It's not even college. No,
because it's like if you were
professionals.
somebody's manager at work,
and if the kid
they ended up doing something and killing somebody, it's like, well, you were their manager.
How did you not know?
What was going on in those one-on-one conversations you were having? You didn't see anything?
I mean, look, my coach and I, my senior year...
Are you a robot?
My coach and I, Don Mills, he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know that we said 10 words to each other my entire senior year.
Really?
We didn't hate each other. It was just like it was a night. He tells me, any questions? We're good.
So you didn't have a personal bond with him?
No, I didn't. I was there 4 years. And he's a great coach, great guy.
Ah, man, I don't like coaching like that.
I don't know that it was him or that was me. It was just that's the way we were. I was there to do one thing, and he was there to do one thing, and it just worked because it was the same thing. Win.
See, that's where I'm different. I would prefer a connection and a relationship over winning. And I know that's weird.
No, it's not.
In terms of competition.
The only thing I can say to that, because I don't think there's anything weird about it at all. I think most people would say something like that.
I thought, because you're super competitive, I thought you would think that was weird.
I don't think it's weird. I'm saying that I had so many coaches from the time I was, I don't know, I've probably been coached by, from the time I was 9 to, probably 50 coaches.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than that. So
there's no way to have a personal
connection.
It's kind of
hard. Yeah, look, in the case of him, I was there 4 years.
Yeah, so
but I hated, between you, me, and the wall, I hated every day in that school. I never wanted to be there.
Really?
I was there because my father said I couldn't excel there. He kept throwing it in my face. And so I
Was he
took
challenging you to make you
That's
go
exactly what he was doing. And plus, he couldn't stand the high school coach in Franklin. They got in a fight over my older brother, and he's like, "My kid will never play for you." And the guy's like, "You're right." He won. I'm like, "I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about the next one." And I didn't.
Did you want to play for that coach?
I never got to know him, so I don't know what happened. I only know my brother's side of it, my older brother's side of
Mark's?
it. Yeah. He wasn't. Mark was on the team, but he wasn't playing him like ever, and he wasn't even giving him a chance. And Mark would work his butt off. And so my father, being a coach, was like, if a guy's not busting his ass, that's one thing. But if the guy is, and he's out working people, then that earns some minutes. He's not devoid of
Give him
talent.
something.
Give him something. I mean, he's busting his ass for you.
See if he can do
So
something.
he never. I don't think he ever asked for Mark to be a starter. And he's like he doesn't even play a minute. He's better than two of the kids you're playing, which I believe was actually true. So my father wasn't wrong there, but how he handled it was, all right. You want to do this? Fuck you. You're never going to see my house.
Yeah.
You know, and I was the better one.
Yeah.
So I mean, the thing is, I just. Mills and I were both competitors, and I was the,
So did you learn from him?
Oh, yeah, I learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
He was a great coach.
See,
But I think-
that's where I struggle. Like, if I don't have some sort of connection or relation to you, I struggle to learn from you as a coach. So, like, if somebody's coaching me, I almost need them to try to make a connection with me.
Sure.
Because then I'll receive what they're teaching me.
I am in a very small company of people that think like that.
Yeah.
And that's more my father. That's how he raised me to be.
Like, just take instruction.
Yeah, take instruction because at the end of the day, first of all, if you do what you're supposed to do, they're going to love you anyway because your job is to win.
Right.
So at the end of the day, that trumps everything because it does. Winning trumps everything. Why do you think some of these guys get this far? Because they can win. This is nothing. This isn't new. Okay, this has been going on since the dawn of sports. Okay, since frickin' the games in the Coliseum there in Rome. This goes back that far. Okay, so I mean, the bottom line is, it's human nature to we all have that killer instinct in us. I would argue there are times when it shouldn't be triggered.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I don't really feel like I have a killer instinct.
Everybody has it.
Yeah.
It just takes something
Maybe
to bring
it's
it
never
out.
been triggered.
No, in your case, it probably hasn't because you're a nice guy. And I don't mean that that's a
I
good
mean, not
thing.
to say I've never wanted to.
No,
I mean, I've gotten in fights.
You've gotten angry, you've gotten in fights, I'm sure you have, but I'm saying by and large, it's hard not to get along with you. Anybody getting along with you is an asshole, as far as I'm concerned. I'm seriously, you're like, no, it's like Pete. Pete, you talk to Pete for 5 minutes and you love him. You have the same impact that Pete has. Okay? I'm an acquired taste. You have to get through all my arrogance and bullshit, and then we can be friends. It's like, so if you're still standing here, I know you're for real. And then just fuck off and leave. So anyway, I don't know why we got on that.
But it's like one time I was getting jumped, and I thought my friends were around, so I didn't want to go too crazy because I didn't want to hit any of them. But I should have had that killer instinct to say, I don't care who I'm about to hit.
It's a
I'm
day on
getting
you.
jumped.
At that point, I think it's
And it
crazy.
turned out they didn't help me.
Yeah, it was crazy button.
So I was worried about hitting my friends because I thought they were jumping in. They weren't jumping in.
They aren't your friends.
That is the
They aren't your
worst.
friends. I don't know anybody like that. That's a friend of mine, or vice versa.
Yeah, well, I mean, this was a long time ago.
yeah,
This was 23 years
Yeah.
ago.
But anyway, I mean, this.
I didn't have the killer instinct to just go crazy.
Yeah. But I mean,
Got my ass beat.
that's what, a lot of these athletes have that. And look, but the thing about it is we tie this back to Belichick and how could he have known? And if the guy comes in and just shows up and does his job every day, you're not inclined, he's got nothing's coming out in the reports, nothing in the news, he's not getting arrested, nothing's happening. You're not going to sit there and just start randomly digging into someone because he's introverted or something. Because there are a lot of guys like that there's nothing wrong with them. That's their personality.
Oh, was he one of those quiet ones?
He was pretty quiet.
Oh.
Yeah. At least
That's
in the
really
locker
scary.
room. It's not that he didn't get along with people, but he was quiet. He wasn't, he was
on
the
the field-
opposite. He was the opposite of Gronk.
But on the field, he seems so intense.
He's a competitor.
But Gronk doesn't seem intense on the field. Not like Gronk always seems like Gronk.
all the time.
He always seems the same.
Yeah, he's just Gronk. He never changes, which is what I like about him. He's
Like
genuine.
intensity
He is
with
what he is.
Gronk, he's just like, what? I'm going to fucking destroy you.
I'm gonna throw you out of the club. He coined the phrase, throw him out of the club. They were playing Indianapolis, and he took a guy, he literally, on a running play, was a toss sweep. The guy was running right up Gronk's ass, and he should have, because Gronk took two of them and just threw him out of the club. He took him they went over the pylon, and two of them. And it was and he's standing there, and the kid scores by just staring at him. And then they like, what are you doing? Yeah, you throw him out of the club. That was Gronk said. Hey, you got to throw him out of the club. And they showed other plays where he did like one guy, we'd throw him in it, like, you throw him out of the club.
Let's check the score.
So,
because we're way off of our original. Up.
Yeah.
KC pulled away.
30-23.
30-23, 5:22.
It's not over yet.
No, it's
that's
not.
That's a touchdown.
I understand.
It's not, they pull away. It's one score.
No,
who's at the ball?
No, it was 24-23. I just meant they extended the lead.
So they must have missed a field goal, or an extra point rather, because it was 24-23. So they must have missed the extra point and gone for 2. Wow, crazy. 5:12 to go.
Okay,
anyway,
so it says it is Vegas ball.
Yeah.
On the Las Vegas 46.
Okay, so the Raiders are driving.
That's right.
Okay.
They're about to cross the 50. It's 2nd and 3. I just called a timeout.
Interesting. Anyway, so we've
Wonder
got
why
Donnie
they
and the Brook
wasted
on
that
Monday night to
timeout.
close out a heck of a
Shouldn't
weekend.
have wasted that time.
Next week, just so you know, big one, Dallas going to Philly. That's going to be talked about. Okay.
Dude, I can't wait to see what Micah, not Mika, Pete, not Mika.
Not Mika.
What Micah Parsons can do to Jalen Hurts.
I'll tell you right now, that Philly offensive line is regarded as the best in the NFL.
But can Micah get past
This
him?
is going to be one. This is the rubber meets the road right here. This is strength on strength. And it's
Oh,
gonna be a
Vegas scored.
How? Who? Why?
What the hell? Why isn't it showing it?
I don't know. But you see a score?
Yeah, it's 29.
Wait a minute. Technical difficulties here, folks.
All of a sudden, it's 29-30.
What the hell happened?
Oh, no. Vegas missed the extra point.
They missed the extra point?
They went for 2.
Why?
No.
Now you're going for 2.
So David Carr passed deep right to Devontae Adams for 48 yards.
I got him. I bought him.
He's got 2 deep balls tonight.
I know. I'm cleaning up.
Okay, so they score the touchdown.
Climbing out of the cellar.
They score the touchdown. It's 29-30.
Yeah.
They run it up the middle on a 2-point conversion. Josh Jacobs
You're
gets
kicking the extra point.
gets stuffed.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
That is so dumb. What do the analytics say?
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but the Giants.
Josh McDaniels, baby.
But the
Josh
Giants. But when the
McDaniels.
Giants did that, we said that Dayball was a hero. You think this situation is different?
It's totally different.
Why?
Because
Well, no.
you're trying to change an entire culture. They're not trying to do that in Oakland. What they're trying to do is beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and all you got to do tie the game, and then if they miss, you can go for the win. Now you're down a point.
Yeah.
Now KC can run.
That's
Are you
terrible.
kidding me? You changed everything. Stupid.
But maybe they feel like they couldn't stop KC. They do have 30 points. I'm just trying to understand why,
You'll never understand. You have a brain.
Maybe.
Josh doesn't. Anyway. Do we cover every game? Do we cover every game?
No.
I mean, Dallas manhandled the Rams. Bam. Had the Rams fallen. Woo!
What is their record? Are they 1-3?
2-3.
2-3.
Maybe it was a case of smoke and mirrors. I don't know. Smoke and mirrors. I don't know. Caught lightning in a bottle, I guess. I don't know. And shit.
You were calling me out for calling the Giants smoke and mirrors.
I was saying Danny Dimes was doing it with smoke and mirrors because I didn't know who the Slayton kid was because I hadn't seen it before. And
I mean, Slayton's not like,
exactly.
it's not like he's throwing a DK Metcalf.
I'm saying, who the hell is this guy? We're going after smoke and mirrors.
He had chemistry with Danny Jones early on.
You did say that in the text. I remember you saying that. But I don't follow them, so I didn't know that. So I'm just like, I'm looking, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And where was he the first 4 weeks of the season?
Yeah, I don't know where he's been.
Yeah. So
That was an exciting game to watch. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much with the Giants. Because the back half of their schedule is really tough. They play the Eagles twice.
But again, they're evolving into something. They may be. They just may be. Oh my God, Edward Slaughter's doing nothing for me. I'm still winning.
Dude, I like the fact that
But
their O-line is still struggling with pass blocking, but their O-line run blocks.
do they? They do. You're talking about who now?
Giants.
Yes, they do. They run block very well. And you know what, though? It's hard. It is hard to pass block because it goes against everything you're taught as a lineman. Go forward. Crush enemies. See them before you. And hear the rendition of the women.
Pass blocking.
Now it's like, It's totally it's a mind fuck. It's like, I understand going from killer to, bunny rabbit. How do you do that? How do you go from
But see, sometimes I think they fuck up and they go bunny rabbit when sometimes in pass blocking, you have to, like every time, sometimes.
If you have seen, which you have, the
You mean the edge
the
speed?
talent and depth at the edge rushing position in the NFL.
Yeah.
If you're a tackle, there ain't no bunny anything, because those guys are beasts. They are metahumans. They are like, and if they will take you and your friend and put you both into the quarterback if you let them. I mean,
right?
They are not. You need to. I mean,
but it's crazy because they're like 80 pounds less than the lineman.
But they're 2 steps quicker.
I know.
That's the thing. They're 2 steps quicker.
And if they get them on skates, if they get the linemen on skates.
And by the way, the linemen are backing up and they're charging.
I know.
Who's got all the momentum?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I feel like in a pass block, every now and then you got to go hit the guy.
Well,
like
the rule is, you pop up, you hit, you take 2 steps back. Hit, 2 steps back. Hit, and then
with as fast as these guys are
fast
coming in on the edge.
Well, yeah, you're standing him up to get back and get your base because he's charging as hard as he can.
Right.
So, and then the goal is to run him by the quarterback so he can step up in the pocket and buy an extra 2 seconds. You want the pressure. You want the pressure going all outside and behind so he can step up and get that extra read or bolt if he has no one. So, and that's hard to do when you got guys that can.
But the problem that was happening to the Giants is like, you just get a free guy coming. And it's like Danny Dimes has to do magic tricks in the pocket. And let me just say this. I do owe Danny Dimes an apology. Because I called him 10 Cent Danny a lot. That was wrong. He's tougher than I'll ever be. And he's actually very talented. Now, I will say I was down on him mainly because of what seems like lack of awareness in the pocket. This game, though, he was very aware of everything. When pressure was coming, he would make a throw. He would scramble out. I think there was a couple times that he missed a throw or something, but he was running for his life, it felt like.
But to your point, you alluded to this earlier. This is a matter of he's also evolving in the offense. So week by week, he gets a little bit more comfortable because he gets more familiar with what routes are going to be run against what coverages and what to expect in terms of how these defenses are going to attack him in that type of coverage, which he may not have. He's trying to figure that out. And that's a process too. And I've seen Brady go through that. I've seen Mahomes go through that. Every quarterback, there's a process to go through. Once you know the offense, then it's like it becomes second nature because now you anticipate because you know what things are supposed to be, whereas now you're trying to figure it out. And against different defenses. Yeah. So that does take time. And maybe that's what he was doing. I don't know. But I know this.
Well, no, the thing is, like, he's got it in him. It's just, you haven't seen it since that first season.
No, because he's been deflated. Because every time he comes in, he's working at a new head coach and a new offense and a new this. And people are coming and going. He's got no chemistry with anybody. Yeah. And his best weapon hasn't played in 3 years. Like, how could you be comfortable in that? Show me the person that can be comfortable in a work environment like that. Yeah. And by the way, everybody's looking to you to solve it. It's like, and I don't even know what plays are running.
And he doesn't have that personality that, like, I'm going to take over. Like, he's kind of got that dorky vibe to him. Like, that guy doesn't have the energy to walk in the room and be like, let's fucking go, follow me.
But it's not on him to do it.
I know.
It's not.
I know.
Especially when you're a rookie.
Right. But I think sometimes,
this isn't a 10-year vet we're talking about that walks into a locker room and he's seen,
But I think sometimes I want the quarterback of the team I'm rooting for to be like that, but that's just not his personality.
But the thing is, though, I've seen this.
You'll get the respect of the team with the way he's playing.
You've seen this happen, by the way. You've seen this happen in football and other sports. Players eventually evolve into that role. It does happen over time, especially if they're in a position at quarterback where you have to. By default, you're a leader.
Well, yeah.
So it's all about becoming more vocal as you get older and more confident. But more vocal comes with more confidence.
Yeah.
If you
and confidence, you don't necessarily have I be vocal to be confident.
You don't. But the thing is, like, it's easier to be vocal when you know that offense inside and out.
Yeah.
Because then you know what you're talking about. And maybe he's like, well, if I don't know 100%, I'm not going to bark at that guy.
Yeah.
Because that shows bad leadership. You got to know. If you're going to bark at somebody, you better know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay. And that's the thing about quarterbacks. They're supposed to know that offense inside and out better than anybody because they have to fix it on the field.
Yeah.
Okay. That's different.
But see, Daboll seems like the kind of coach that knows all of his shit because he's not afraid to yell at people.
Well, if you
either.
think about what staffs he's been on, Tom Brady and then later Josh Allen.
He had to know his shit.
He knows his shit because you know what? Those two know their shit.
Yeah.
They walk in and challenge you to challenge them to see if they know their shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember Charlie Weiss talking about Tom Brady after the third Super Bowl game. This kid's become a pain in the ass. I'm like, what do you mean? Because he comes in and he's asking you questions. Like,
Right.
I designed the offense.
Why are we
doing that? Why are we doing this? And then he's backing it up. And Charlie Weiss is going, and it's making sense. And it really pisses you off. But the thing is, that's how tuned in he became. And that's the biggest reason for his greatness. And quarterbacks eventually, hopefully, get to that point.
I don't know that Danny Jones is at that point.
It would help if he had an offense for more than 1 year.
Yeah.
Because you can't get to that if you're changing offenses every single year.
So I don't know who the Giants are playing next week.
Well, I have the schedule right here.
Yeah, tell me who the Giants are playing because I'm interested to see if they're able to maintain this.
I'm rather curious about the Giants' whereabouts. Let's see. Schedule for next week, which is October.
Is it the Ravens?
Hold on.
It is. It's the Ravens.
It's the Ravens. Ooh. In New York. They're coming to you. They're coming to you.
You think they can beat the Ravens?
They just beat Green Bay.
Is Green Bay better than Baltimore?
They've got the same type of quarterback. One's got better legs. One's got a far superior arm. Okay, so
Yeah, but I think
they've both won league MVPs. Brad Rodgers has won 4, I might add.
completely different style, though.
That doesn't matter. Actually, if I'm the Giants, I'd rather a guy that I know is more of a threat to run than throw because your secondary is suspect. But you guys tackle pretty well, in the front seven in particular. So I would say that Russell. Look at Lamar.
Yeah, I feel like the Giants
Lamar is not an easy. I'm not. Don't. This guy's an MVP.
I feel like the
candidate.
Giants have a bunch of practice squad and linebackers
Well,
getting the job done.
They've been doing this for 4 out of 5 weeks now, and they lost to Dallas by a touchdown. Who's 4-1? So I mean,
And they had a chance to win that.
They had a chance to win that game. They lost to a 4-1 team. Okay, and they had the ball with a chance to win it, or tie it rather. So I can't be that mad at them. But anyway, this weekend you've got
the Pats going?
The Pats are at Cleveland. Interesting. The Jets 3-2 go to Green Bay 3-2.
Ooh.
Yeah, Jacksonville.
When is that game?
All right, ready for this one?
When is that Jets?
1:00 on Fox.
Dude, we got to watch that game.
We can get the games on. We'll do
I know,
it.
but are the Patriots playing at 1?
Of course they are.
Fuck.
What? 2? We have 2. We can get 2 screens going and put them on both
All
screens.
right.
We can do that.
'Cause-
you may change your mind in a minute when I tell you the rest of these games.
I want to see the Jets.
Hey, ready for this one? For first place, the first place battle, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts for first place.
That's gross.
Are you kidding me? Who'd have thought that? 2 weeks ago. Minnesota at Miami. That's going to be 4-1 versus 3-2. Baltimore at the Gmen. Big one. Tampa Bay at Pittsburgh normally would mean something, but Pittsburgh is so bad this year.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say. That's probably the one stinker.
Tampa's going to go off.
Carolina fired. By the way, Carolina fired their coach today?
Yeah, Matt Rule.
Carolina's going to Los Angeles. The Rams have been beaten up, spit out, kicked. Okay.
The Rams are going to take all their
Anger out on them, yeah.
And Baker's not playing.
Yeah. I know. And then, ready for
know
this?
Baker hurt his ankle?
Dude, Baker's out, yeah. But then, that's the bad one. Listen to this. Arizona, first place at Seattle. Buffalo at KC. Dallas at Philly.
Is Dallas Philly the night game?
That's the night game.
So who's Buffalo playing?
At Kansas City.
Ooh, is that a 4:00 game?
4:00 game.
Who's Monday night?
What are we getting for dinner?
Who's Monday night?
Monday night is Denver at the Chargers.
God damn it, Denver has
How
so
is
many
Denver being
primetime
the
games.
worst offense I've ever seen in my life? If you, by the way, if you can't sleep, just get a video of the Denver
Nobody
Broncos.
gives a shit about
offense.
the Broncos.
You'll be out in 5 minutes.
I swear to God, they've been on every goddamn primetime.
I know,
Right?
four times.
11 to 10 with San Fran. They were Sunday.
Then last week,
They played Seattle on a
that was
Thursday night or
to open
Sunday
the
night.
season.
On Sunday?
It was the Monday night game.
Monday night.
To open the season.
What are they, primetime the whole...
Three games now they've been on primetime. Worst
Feels
offense.
like every game.
Worst offense I've seen.
God. Let's ride. Broncos country.
Let's
Russell.
ride. I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that.
Did you see after they blew the game last week?
That's what he said.
When he was like...
Let's ride.
He was like, nah, he like whispered it. He was like, Broncos country. And as he's walking away, he's like, let's ride.
Let's ride. But he looked at the crowd, didn't he? Like, let's ride.
But
No,
like, so
are
he
you
did that in
shitting
some
me?
commercial.
Did he really?
Yeah, and now it's like his
It sucks.
cringe.
It sucks. It's terrible. Let's ride. If I said that to my friends, they'd probably beat me up. They'd probably freaking they jump me, they beat the shit out of me. Let's never say that again. It's like
Okay.
It's like saying someone has a case of the Mondays. Don't say it.
Yeah, don't say
Don't
it.
say
Yeah,
it.
living the dream.
Yeah. Don't say it.
Okay, so one game we've overlooked
It
that I know in terms of some of their on-field performances, it's going to be ugly. I think it could be an enjoyable game, though.
Is.
Thursday night game, Bears, Skins, or Commanders.
Well, I would say that'd be Wentz's last stand.
You think so?
Yeah.
If he loses,
If he
to
loses
Chicago,
that game, they might put him in a sack and throw him in the river.
Who was the kid from ODU? Taylor
Heineke.
Taylor Heineke.
Taylor Heineke. Who
Nice.
I love, and I've been.
Yeah, you love
Morgan
that
and
guy.
DJ have ridiculed me. I'm like, this kid is like the second coming of Doug Flutie. He's the little engine that could.
You
And
love a short white guy.
I love a good white story. I do.
He loves a great white hype.
Great white hype. Well,
can't
he's not a big. He's a little white hype. But the bottom line is when you see a guy who's Rudy, 5 feet nothing, 100 nothing, he's out there in the NFL and he's going toe to toe with Tom Brady.
Your whole generation
you almost root for that guy.
would make love to Rudy at the drop of a hat.
Rudy was a true story.
And
Rudy
Rock.
was a true
And
story.
Rock. Who's the guy that played Rock?
Who?
You remember that sitcom with Rock? The
What?
the black actor that played the janitor at Notre Dame.
Who was a football player? Remember? He was a football player.
Oh, he was? Oh, like back in the day?
Remember when he gave the speech? He's like,
I
I'm
don't
sorry
really
to get
like
you.
Rudy.
He goes, I'm sorry to get you to see a game from the stands. He's like, I've seen too many games. He's like, what? He's like, it was like, I didn't say, I was a player. He rode the bench for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then because he thought they were being racist, he quit.
Oh.
And he told people, not a day goes by where I don't regret them getting the best of me, and you'll regret it too. Now go back.
I always just remember when he's like, "You're 5 foot nothing."
That was the greatest
100
line.
nothing.
That was the greatest line in the history of motivation.
So
You're
that guy-
5 feet nothing.
So that guy,
100 and nothing.
that guy had a TV show called Rock. Do you remember? It was like
I don't.
It's like a live TV sitcom.
And he was a dad?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Keep going.
But
He was a dad.
I don't think I was going anywhere with that. I was just saying you love a good Great White Hope. No, I was saying
You said he was black.
what?
Rock's black.
He is.
Well, it's not a Great White Hope story.
No. We got here talking about Rudy because you love a Great White Hope story.
What I love is an underdog story.
But
Period.
but a Great White underdog.
No, what are you talking about? Have you not seen Creed?
Was Creed an underdog?
Yeah, I'd say it was.
Oh, you're talking about the
The movie, Creed. Because he's like lived to fight. This dad is like this all-time great fighter.
Right.
He's trying to live that reputation.
Yeah.
That's hard to do. Ask Michael Jordan's kids. Okay.
Well, Creed is like
Or, you
Creed
know-
is in the movies Creed.
Yeah.
He's like Rocky.
Yeah.
It's
He's
just
like
the
Rocky,
story.
yeah. But I mean, no. But I'm saying the point is like I just love an underdog story. Muggsy Bogues, 5'3". How the hell is that guy in the NBA for 12 years? 5'3", and he more than held his own.
That's nuts.
More than held his own. Spud Webb, 5'7", wins a damn dunk contest with Dominique and Dr. J
was
in it.
incredible.
And Larry Nance and all these guys that are. And he 5'7" Spud. Are you shitting me?
Jose Altuve, 5'6".
Yeah, there you go. I mean, look at
Batting
it.
champion?
Troy Brown, Wes Welker, Julian L. These little dudes. Troy Brown was Troy Brown. Last pick of the draft got stoned with my brother Pete. Pete got stoned with Troy Brown. Okay?
Yeah, you've told me that
And
times.
he became Tom Brady's number one on 3 Super Bowls. Think about that. This dude right here. Okay? Last pick in the draft of his year. Okay? Underdog story. So I love a good underdog story. I don't
loves
care
a
who
good
it is.
underdog.
Yeah, why not? Especially when they're real. Because that's what makes life worth living. Anything's possible. You hear that all the time, but then you see it and you realize that it's true.
Oh, something as
What is wrong with that?
cringy as Let's Ride, Broncos country.
Oh, what now?
Kevin Garnett, anything is possible.
That was terrible.
That seemed fake.
He is lucky he won the championship.
That seemed fake.
He is lucky he was holding the trophy when he said that.
That seemed fake.
Because that's the only reason anyone allowed it. It was just like because he
Anything is
won.
possible.
I was like, dude. And then I'm thinking to myself, he played like 14 years and never got near a title.
Do you remember?
So I'm like, what would I do in that
Yeah,
moment?
that's
I don't know what I would
true,
do in
that's
that
true.
moment. Because I mean, if you're all of a sudden here you are winning, you were never near it before, and then if you come to Boston your first year and you win it,
Do you remember when he was talking to
what?
the reporter? Was it Susie Colbert?
It was a girl. I don't remember who it was.
A woman.
It was a woman.
Remember? But he was like,
Young girl.
"What's up?" He was like, "You look good, girl." Like he was just so funny. It was almost like he was drunk.
He called the girl.
It was like he was drunk. I know. That's
was
not,
drunk.
That's
He was a
not
good woman.
polite.
Woman.
No, he could have called her by her name.
Maybe he didn't know her name.
Yes, he did. He
Maybe-
called
maybe he
her
was
her
so-
name. He was
maybe he
like,
was so blitzed he didn't remember.
Susie, you look good, girl. But
What's wrong with that? They have a relationship. They're
I'm not
calm.
saying
They're
there's
cordial.
anything wrong with that.
Yeah, there's wrong with that.
I think she was fine with it.
Probably. It's Kevin Garnett.
I'm going on to talk about he went from anything is possible
To
Susie, you look good, girl, or whatever her name was. It was the woman with the short hair that used to do the NBA reporting.
Susie
Brown
Colbert
hair.
Susie Colbert is football. It's not
I don't
her.
think it's Susie. It's who was the woman? I think she recently came out and said something.
Was it Rachel Nichols?
No, not Rachel Nichols.
What color hair was she? Red hair? Was she blonde? Brown hair.
Yeah.
White girl?
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank.
Kevin Garnett championship interview.
I'm drawing a blank. I should know who this is, but I was probably so drunk and jumping around. I don't remember that because I was so happy when they won in 08. They beat the fake show to do it.
There she is.
Who is she?
I think she's recently taken some flack.
Oh, she's older.
For some conservative.
Oh, yeah, I know who she is. What's her
name?
I don't know. It should be on there.
Throwback to Kevin Garnett's Anything is Possible interview.
Speaking of going right up my ass.
NBA champions once again. The greatest single season history is
You got it, here he goes.
number 17, soon to be raised to the rafters.
Yeah, there's the Lakers. We own the Lakers in the finals. 9-3. Fake show. We build it, you buy it. He's crying. He's crying.
We'll see what he says to her. Oh, damn, he headbutted Kobe.
He's Kobe. Give him a hug.
I forgot they beat Kobe. Kobe and Derek Fisher.
Yep.
Let's go to Michelle Tafoya.
Michelle.
Michelle Tafoya.
Michelle Tafoya.
I have been usurped, but Kevin, the 11-time All-Star,
Yeah, he's like 12 years in the league. Never got married.
Defensive Player of the Year. Now it's time to add to your resume. NBA champion. How does that sound?
Man, I'm so hyped right now. Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
Terrible. Hold up. It's terrible.
Hold up.
Terrible.
I think this is when he says it.
That was a glorious night. Thank God for them. Because the Patriots had lost 19-0 that year. This saved me. This saved my year. Them beating Kobe in the fake show.
Emotion. It's all right. Don't apologize.
This for everybody in Soda. This
In
for everybody
Soda.
in Chicago.
You're cool. Soda.
It's for everybody. Southcat, Basswood, my mama Peanut. See everybody.
Peanut.
Oh, my mama made it, ma. Top of the world. Top of the world.
Kevin,
You have no idea.
She doesn't ask the question.
what does the world feel like, Kevin?
And I'm so happy right now.
Ray Allen.
I'm finna sleep for a week.
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
I'm not finna.
Anyway, we're watching a basketball video and we're talking about football. We can turn that off. Who cares?
This man, but
I lived it.
certified.
Also the last one.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Nobody's still watching.
No, I'm
No,
not
he just said it.
One more, Kevin.
He just said it. Hang on. He didn't say girl.
Paul Pierce, everybody. I can't even take all this, man, but I'm certified.
Listen.
I'm certified.
Listen.
Michelle, you look good tonight, girl.
Oh, he did say girl. Michelle, you look good tonight, girl. He's just like, I just won an NBA championship. Yo, you trying to come back with me?
Oh my.
Like, he literally seemed like he was drunk in that moment. He was drunk with the accomplishment.
He was drunk with joy.
He was.
Oh, to be drunk with joy.
That was literally,
Last time I
it was
drunk.
like
When was
he
the last time-
had too many beers.
When was the last time you were drunk with joy? It's been a minute.
Drunk with joy.
Drunk with joy.
I think when the Giants won the Super Bowl in 07, 08 or whatever it was, I was drunk with joy. And I'm not saying that to be a dick,
No, that was the
because you guys
greatest
have had
upset.
plenty more than
No, we got over it and kept going.
right.
But no, the bottom line is no. For
Maybe
me,
that.
drunk with joy would be when well, actually, it was when the Bruins won in 2011. Then we were the first city to win all 4 major sports in a 10-year window. That was pretty amazing. No one knew that, but all the teams came out to root them on because they knew it. That if the Bruins had done this, then they were 4 teams, all 4 sports teams in a decade winning the championship in their sports. Never happened before in a city. Boston's the first team to do that in a 10-year window. That was amazing. When people started, because no one knew about that number. But when they heard, it's like, oh my God, and the Bruins were in a 38-year drought. I had never seen the Bruins win the Stanley Cup. So when they did that, it was like incredible. It was like winning 2 things. It was awesome. So that was drunk with joy. Because then they had a thing on the ESPN cover. It's got all 4 championship rings on the knuckles. It goes, "Welcome to Boston, loser."
Glory days.
Glory days. Welcome to Boston, loser.
My feet are freezing
Oh
right
my
now.
God. I know it's frosty. Frosty.
I should have put shoes on.
Are you in bare feet?
No, I'm in socks
Okay, at least you have
and
socks. If you're in bare
slides.
feet, I think you're nuts.
Socks and slides, but these socks are not doing anything.
I'm not doing shit.
Feels like I got my feet in an ice bath.
It's terrible. Anyway, we've been at it long enough for this evening.
Hour and 15 on
way too
football
long.
recap.
Football recap.
It was a good game.
Did we cover everything? We went over the schedule for the weekend. A lot of good games coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of Donnies.
Yeah, whenever all those.
All the Donnies.
I'm pretty sure we touched at least a little bit on every game.
I think we did, right?
Did anybody have a bye this week?
No. What about the Jacksonville? Who'd they play?
Jacksonville lost, didn't they?
I think they did. I forget to who, though.
I don't know who they played.
It wasn't Philly, because Philly was last week. It was,
Let me see.
I don't know, but they're 2-3. They're playing, I think they're playing, well, actually, no, because now Tennessee, I think, is technically in first place at 2-2.
Because they beat the Commanders.
Yeah.
So Jacksonville lost to Houston.
Who got their first win, who had been, and we were saying how Houston had been in every game but couldn't find a way to win, and finally they did.
They won that game 13-6, so Jacksonville's offense struggled.
Yeah, Houston's D has been pretty solid all year. I don't know who the hell's on, but they have held teams in check. They have been in every game, to their credit. I don't know who their quarterback is. They don't have any discernible weapons on offense. It's like, how are they? And they've been competitive. Whoever the coach is doing a heck of a job. And they finally got their first win. So and now every team's got to win.
I think we did touch on every other game.
I think we did, right?
Indy Denver was Thursday. We didn't really talk about
Snore. That was, we gave it a new name. Instead of a Donnie, we call it a Yanni.
A Yanni.
It's a Yanni brook. And by the way, if you see that, you know what it is. It's like a tie game, but it's like, 5-5 or 7-8 or whatever, or 10-10. And there's 2 minutes to go in the game, and you're like, I can't believe I stayed up and watched this. At that point, you don't care who wins. You're just like, I just want to go to bed.
We didn't talk about Seattle, New Orleans, but who cares?
Geno Smith has made people in Seattle forget the name Russell Wilson.
Is that crazy or what?
His numbers are Pro Bowl caliber numbers right now. He's an underdog story of the year.
Is.
He really is. And he's got them in first place, I think.
But we didn't even care about that game.
No, we didn't, but they New Orleans was the one that was being hyped as the biggest threat to Tampa.
Seattle's in first?
They're in first place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for
I'm
Geno
saying,
Smith, then.
Pete Carroll, to his credit, this might be Pete Carroll's finest coaching job. Seriously. It's one thing to have talent and do that. It's another thing when you're rebuilding to put a competitive team on the field week in, week out.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, no, they're 1 game out. They're 2-3. They're 1 game back of the Niners.
The Niners are 3-2.
3-2, and then everybody else is 2-3. So everybody's 1 game back in that division. So it's all close. So they're playing.
Yeah, the Niners aren't going to run away with that.
No, they're not. But the thing is, so that game, they're playing. Who are they playing? Where are they?
What did the Niners do this week?
They whipped what's their name, Carolina. They whipped Carolina. They blew Carolina out like 35-17.
Oh, God.
And that's when the coach got fired. Which, By the way, here's a question for you: how many quarterbacks has Carolina had over the last 3 years walk through the doors?
Okay, so did they go from
Counting this year?
Did they go from Cam Newton to Sam Darnold, or was there someone in between?
There was a few guys. Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah.
Who was it?
I don't remember their names, but they've had 8 quarterbacks in 2.5 years.
8?
I think 8 have actually taken a snap in
Yeah.
2.5 years. I think it's 8.
They've been lost since Cam left.
Not all started, but they've all either preseason or come in for injuries. So I think 7 of the 8 have actually played in a regular season in like 2.5 years, something stupid like that.
Yeah.
And
Well, because I guess once
and
they brought
Baker's
Sam in, he
the
got
8th
hurt.
one.
Yeah.
Baker's the 8th one.
Oh, well, then they got a 9th because
There's going to be a 9th because
I don't
he's
know
out.
Who's starting for them?
I don't know who it is.
Well, Thompson was playing right?
Is that right? We couldn't figure who he was.
No, Thompson was with Miami.
Miami, yeah. No, who was the guy?
I don't know.
Because Sam Darnold is hurt.
Right.
And he's in the concussion protocol, so he's up for another couple. So they're on their number 3 guy, too. They beat Carolina. And they have a new, the defensive coordinator, somebody is now taking over as the interim head coach. This guy Wicks, I think his name is. Wicks, yeah. And
that's a bad situation down there.
it's a very bad situation.
P.J. Walker's the backup quarterback.
Who the tits is P.J. Walker?
It says,
We're going to find out, America.
It says, Baker Mayfield watched from the Carolina Panthers sideline as backup quarterback P.J. Walker led the offense on a meaningless final drive in Sunday's 37-15 loss to San Francisco.
A meaningless final
God,
drive.
that is harsh.
In Sunday's 37-15
That is
ass
harsh.
kicking.
But you're right. P.J. Walker is the third string because Darnold
I think every fan base needs to have like a Bob Uecker. That guy that you just turn on the radio and he's the one that's just telling them like it doesn't care. Just like, yeah, they got a size 13, ran right up their ass. They never should have got off the bus. Like, you got to have a guy like that. Because that's the guy that makes it all, puts it all in perspective. You're like, wow, I'm not that nut job. As bad as I feel right now.
So listen to this. So Sam Darnold got diagnosed with a high left ankle sprain.
Oh, those are lingering like Mac Jones.
In late August and was given a recovery timetable of 4 to 6 weeks. So it's been 4.
Yeah.
It's been almost 6.
We were saying best case scenario, Mac Jones was 3.
So, but for him, it's been about 6.
Yeah, 4 to 6 is the norm. That's the norm. And if it lingers, it can be even longer than that. 4 to 6 is the normal recovery.
But, I mean, when he's healthy, he's going to be the starter.
Well, he is because what's his name's going to be in the thing for a while, right?
Well, Baker
Baker
I
got
think
a
he might
serious-
only.
He needs a surgery, doesn't he?
Oh, I thought he just sprained his ankle. I thought I heard like a
thought it was
couple weeks.
No, maybe it is. I thought it was
But because of how the team has played behind Baker, I think they go to Darnold when Darnold's healthy, right?
they'd have to.
If Baker's healthy, I still think
Baker
they
has
go
the
to Darnold.
second worst QBR in the league behind
Yeah, was he
only
46 or something.
Yeah, only
Carson Wentz,
it's not. No, it's not him.
Mariota.
No, I think it's Mariota. That's one of the guys. Trubisky.
Oh,
Mitchell Trubisky.
yeah, but pretty soon it's going to be Pickett that has
Pickett's
the,
on. Pickett's
He's
about
racing up that
He's
list.
about to lap him. Pickett was like, he saw the stats. He goes, "Hold my beer."
But it's not even fair. I mean, Pickett's playing Tampa this week. He's fucked.
He played who was it last week? Buffalo.
Yeah, it's like that's fucked up.
No, we're not going to play you. We're going to play against the top 2 defenses.
See, that's the shitty part. Is like Trubisky couldn't hold it down until they got past.
But
these
he came.
teams.
But he came in, he came in early in that other game, and he threw 3 picks
Against who?
when it wasn't Buffalo.
Who was it?
I forget who it was. It was the Jets. It was the Jets. He threw 3 picks
They
against
got a
the
good
Jets.
defense too.
The Jets are 3-2, so they're looking more
Jets
and more.
have talent.
But he comes in, he throws 3 picks. They bench Trubisky for throwing 1.
Like,
This
you
kid
think his QBR's bad?
it's like
He's
he's like, hold my beer.
You're not going to beat me at anything. Not even being bad.
No, I'm the number 1 fuck up here. Me.
Dude, but then so to have your debut go like that, and then you follow it up with
3 more.
Buffalo,
3 more.
and then Tampa.
38-3. And then now here comes Tampa.
That's tough.
Who's pissed off because they're saying
Yeah.
they got saved against the Falcons. Gee.
Well, I don't know how pissed they are. They don't need
People
to be
saying that's the
pissed.
reason they won the game was that call.
They're going to beat the Steelers.
Maybe the bag off them.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
They're like, oh wait, we need to get well. Well, this Pittsburgh.
An hour and 23 minutes in, we've got more to talk about, folks.
It's unbelievable. Anyway,
We've got more to talk
have we covered every team now?
I
think we
like
have.
it. I like every time you ask that question, we find one
We
more
find
game.
one more game.
There's one more game where we're like, yeah,
It's
we
like,
touched on that, but we didn't really.
Is there any more
dive
Reese's
in.
Pieces in there? He goes,
Yeah.
look.
We're not done yet.
Not done? Hell no.
Hey, how about college football? Do you want to?
Well, I'll tell you what. Congratulations to JMU finally cracking the top 25.
Yes.
They just came up from 1AA, and now they're 25th in the country. That's not a
Their
bad
first year.
First year. That's pretty damn
Moving up.
impressive. Pretty damn impressive. The top 3 did change. Ohio State jumped Alabama. Jesus, they got lucky.
Who they barely beat?
Texas A&M. That call. that call. Oh,
I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. It makes me sick. Anyway, because I wish you had seen it, because you'd be like, what? We probably would have led with that.
What kind of call? Like,
Just that they...
bad penalty? What?
No. They just... I'm trying to remember what the call was. The actual... They actually said what the call was. I don't know what it is.
Is it a call by the ref? Play call?
There's a play call. I'm trying to remember what it was. But anyway,
So you don't really know.
I don't know what...
And
no,
me
I-
asking you
I
questions
saw-
is not helping.
No, because I'm stoned, and...
The man just looked in the eyes of Medusa.
I did. And I didn't freeze, which tells you how good this shit is.
You did.
Because no, you didn't. Yeah. I'm still talking. But anyway, so the bottom line is, if you look at the
became
top 10
stoned. You
rankings,
looked at Medusa.
there's a big one this weekend. You got number 5 Michigan hosting number 10 Penn State. Brian, 2 undefeated teams, both looking very good right now.
Is that really going to be a good game?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. They are evenly matched teams. That's going to be a very
Is
good
Michigan
game.
going to show up?
You've also got, I think, yeah. And
Did
you've
Notre
got
Dame beat a ranked team over the weekend?
Notre Dame beat
Or did they
BYU.
lose?
Notre Dame has quietly won 3 in a row, and they look
They
like they're
can't
getting
get
better.
back into the top 25, can they?
Actually, they can.
Yeah.
In fact, if they win this week, I think they'll
How many
probably
losses do they have?
They're 3-2. They lost at Ohio State by 10. They were in that game. That doesn't hurt them. Actually helps them. The Marshall game is the one that's killing
So
them.
when does it go to 12?
They're pushing for 2 years.
That sucks.
I know. I have to wait 2 years, which sucks.
It should be next year.
It should be next year. It should be this year. Fuck it. Just do it now.
Well, but I understand, like, it's a
mean-
lot of logistics for this year.
Yeah, no. But next year. I
But
think
next
it's
year,
possible.
goddamn.
Next year, do it.
I guess they already have contracts signed for, like, bowl games and shit. Is that what
They're
it
gonna.
is?
They should use the bowl games as sites. Like they said, that would be fun. You imagine going to the freaking Blue Bonnet Bowl to see a regional freaking semifinal? That'd be awesome. That would give. That would be
amazing.
the Cotton Bowl for the
Dude,
freaking national.
what kind of
you know,
excites me is that, now, I don't know. I don't watch college football enough to know it.
You need to start.
But I know I don't have a team.
And
Maybe,
you gotta-
you know what? Maybe I'll start rooting for JMU.
Bandwagon.
They're kind of local. They're local. Underdog story, asshole.
I'm just joking. Asshole, underdog.
I
You
mean,
like underdogs. Here's an underdog.
When I was in the summer after 9th grade, I went to a basketball camp at JMU, and I loved the campus.
Yes.
It was outstanding.
Okay.
And I had a great camp.
You gotta learn everything about them.
I had a great camp.
Mm-hmm.
And, so maybe I'll root for JMU.
James Madison. So yeah.
Oh,
point
Jimmy
five.
Madden.
Jimmy Madden.
You know Jimmy Madden.
Yeah. There are still 12 undefeated teams. 12. Okay. And one of them, believe it or not, is Syracuse. How the hell did that happen?
Syracuse is undefeated.
Yeah. They haven't been this good since Donovan McNabb.
But imagine in a couple of years if JMU could get into that 12-round playoff or the 12-team playoff. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm telling you.
I mean, if they're in the top 25 this year, after they recruit a little bit, they could be in the top 12.
12-team playoff is going to do wonders for recruiting. It's going to level the playing field. Because now you don't have to go to one of 4 schools to be seen.
Yeah.
Now you can go wherever the hell you want. You can get seen. And you can win a national title now. Not playing the Blue Bonnet Bowl. Or the Car Care Meineke Bowl. What the fuck is the Car Care Meineke Bowl? Who gives a shit about that?
The DiGiorno stuffed crust pizza.
Yeah,
bowl.
the Pizza Hut Bowl. Whatever. I mean, stop. Now,
BB&T Big
yeah.
Button Titties.
Yeah,
Bowl.
now the Rose Bowl and the Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl can mean something. Those are the big ones. You know, what was the Fiesta Bowl? The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl.
Tostitos.
Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Yes, they are wonderful. So, anyway.
The White Cheddar Ridge Cheez-It Bowl. Just start naming off all our favorite snacks. The Aldi Stuffed Jalapeno Olive Bowl. No, I'm not digging in there.
No, I'd say you should.
Hey,
The Aldi Garlic Stuffed Olive Bowl.
dude, next time you get olives,
Yeah.
get some skewers.
I will. I have to.
And I would like the plastic swords.
What about the Berman's Steak
Steak sauce bowl.
Steak Sauce Bowl?
Hey, but I just want you to know, when the type of skewers I would like
Yes.
are the little plastic swords that sometimes you get like in an orange
The
peel.
Shirley Temples?
Yeah. Okay, for the cherries. Okay, so
Here's
get
the
us,
little pink
get us
sword.
some blue and pink. Okay, whichever way we're feeling that day, go in with a
getting
pink.
pink.
or a blue. You won't have a pink skewer?
I will when it's Cancer Month. I'll do a pink.
It's October.
Is this Cancer Month?
I think so.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
I think it's usually
We'll have to
October.
look that up and find out. If it's true, then we'll have to do something with it.
Come on, you'll only use a pink sword in that month?
I think it has more meaning.
that
I
insecure?
think it has but I think it has more meaning if I do it in that month. It's raising awareness.
Dude,
Versus if I'm just doing it like on a random Wednesday.
if I'm trying to get an olive, I will take any color skewer from anyone.
I don't care if
and
it
go,
looks like shit.
I don't care.
I don't care if it smells
It could
like
be a
shit.
dirty skewer. That olive brine's gonna kill anything on it anyway.
It probably will. And you drink
Salt.
that shit too. The
Salt is,
the salt,
you know,
very powerful stuff.
Purifying.
Yeah. So anyway, there are a lot of good games in college this weekend as
Ice
well.
blocks on my feet.
So there are actually, I believe there are 5 games where top 25 teams are matched up against. I think there's 5. So, and you've got 2 late night on the West Coast. You know, USC is another one. I'll tell you, these top 7, offensively, they can all drop 50 on everybody. It's pretty crazy. The question is whose defense is going to be what at the end. Because offensively, they're all explosive. I've seen a number of these games. Like,
And don't look now, VCU climbing the charts.
VCU.
They're undefeated. Haven't lost a single football game.
They've
this
never
year.
lost a game. You realize that?
I mean, it's a crazy program they've built.
I'll tell you
over
right
there.
now, they're like the Baltimore Ravens who won like 24 preseason games in a row. But this streak goes way beyond that. We're talking century.
24 preseason.
Can you imagine
My
over a
feet are
century of
freezing.
college football having never lost a single game?
I've got to go.
That's VCU.
My toes are literally
Anyway,
gonna just shatter.
From a frozen,
the frozen tundra.
from a frozen sack.
Are we outside Lambeau?
We are. It's like Lambeau. I am the highly questionable one, RJ Milihetcher. That is the frozen. I mean, redoubtably frozen one, Tom Izzo.
I'm going to
We
get
will-
some peyote from Aaron Rodgers.
We will see you either. We might do a special weekend one, but if not, I'll be back Monday night with a recap. Enjoy the football. Oh, no, wait. Today's Monday, right? So we're going to be back Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
We're back Wednesday.
or Thursday.
Well,
Oh, no,
Thursday's
we
football.
never do
We
Thursday.
never do Thursday. Back Wednesday night, preview the Thursday night game, and college. We'll preview some college football this weekend on Wednesday night as well.
Will we?
All right? Yes, we will. I'll have some stuff. It'll be fun. Anyway, until then, Tom, RJ, stay loose.
Stay loose. I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Remain tight as a drum.